show we got some sound. Hey, can your head do this? My head can do this. Can yours do this? No, bitch. This is a take 2.
Oh, shit.
Because apparently I left a tripod on the space bar, and it just kind of fucked all of our recordings up. So, welcome. Let's not get too far into the show. Welcome to the show, everyone. This is our 3rd episode of So I Married a Geek. I keep checking to make sure it's not on the space bar. We had a really good time with you guys in the first 2 episodes. We had a great deal of fun. Everyone really seemed to enjoy it. He loved it. Well, you're not going to talk now?
I'm trying to get back into the right headspace. Like, it was going so well. It was going so well.
Anyways, so yeah, we had a good time listening to everyone and, you know, hearing everyone's laughing jokes, and like their favorite part seems to be the before show unscripted, somewhat scripted parts. Like they loved the
when you think you're sneaky and catch me off camera and shit.
Yeah. And so, you know, and I wrote the skit where I was singing, and I just did that on the fly. I looked like a troll. Like I literally looked like I had like that weird like flat top haircut like a Three Stooges has, and just like, hey, like I've got board games, y'all. And you were all like dressed up, and I was like,
I love how she's like, look, if I can't get on the couch, I'm gonna find a way to be on camera.
Here, come on. So yeah, that was awesome. Come on, up here, come on. Oh, there's the dog. So
she wants an appearance feel.
She wants to get her face up in my face. So it's been lots of fun, and people seem to really want to see more of the unscripted moments. So we're gonna start trying to film some more ad lib, like we're driving in the car, maybe around the house. Because I tried the other day.
No, y'all, he wants the camera in the car because he wants to try to catch me singing when no one's paying attention, or when he thinks he thinks I'm not paying attention, and none of you want to hear that. The next time any of you hear me sing, it will be because I've run it through 37, 38 different processors, so it almost sounds human. Like that'll be when y'all hear me sing. That's why
talk
he likes
like this. But the thing is the other day he for his finger, the surgeon was like, "Why don't you give me 2 injections in your neck?" And he comes and tells me, "Oh, well, that means I might not be able to sing." And I just start smiling, and he gets so pissed off at me for days. And I had to explain to him, it's because when he told me that, I saw Troy McClure from The Simpsons going, "Can I sing my songs anymore?" And Dr. Zayas going, "I don't see why not." And him going, "Well, I could have before," and then busting out singing. Except it looked like Phil instead of Troy McClure. Like, that's what went through my head. And that's what I was thinking about. So I didn't even realize it. You never apologized to me for saying I couldn't sing. I was like, when did I say that shit?
You said... He says it all the time, y'all. Don't let him fool you. He tells me all the time that I cannot sing. And I can't. He's not lying.
He can. He just needs to sing more.
But there are people on the radio who can't sing. I'll leave their names out. But there's lots of people who can't sing. So I just got to figure out how to do it.
Talking about the radio, dude. Like, I've been listening to the songs on the top 40 station. They're all horrible breakup revenge songs. Like, that's all anybody... Like, COVID must have sucked to all these people because they're all like, "Oh, I'm so sad because you moved on. Oh, I did all those things with you first. How's she going to feel?" Like, they're all fucking, like, breakup songs. It's fucking stupid. But, so I tried to catch some unscripted moments this week because Phil was asleep in the car, and I thought, what would happen if I made him think we got in a wreck when he's dead asleep? So I pulled in the driveway, and this is what happened. Oh my god, oh my god! God damn, you must be tired. Yeah, bitch was asleep. He did not move, y'all. Y'all saw that.
I broke my fingertip in 5 places, y'all, and so I have Tylenol 3 to help with that, with the pain. But that comes with codeine, which means, hey, if you're in a car accident, you might just barely wake up out of that thing. I'll be like, oh shit, did we hit something? Was that a deer? Like, I had no clue.
So other fun things this week that happened is, and you can blame Harley and Joe for this one.
And I completely blame both of you for this.
My Ursula collection grew. I got the new Ursula Build-A-Bear. Or their tentacles. Yes!
Because you don't have enough Ursula stuff.
I don't have
around
enough
the
Ursula
house.
stuff in it. I blew up the Halloween inflatable the other day, and I was so excited because it's so awesome. But he was asleep. I couldn't get him to come and look at it. Yeah, that was a. There's no vetoing this. I'm getting this Halloween Ursula inflatable. There's a lot of drama behind it because of shipping. Didn't know if anyone was getting it, and then I got it. Yeah, you're getting it. So it's here. It will be in the front yard for fucking Halloween. It's gonna be awesome.
Because you'll never have enough Ursula shit.
I won't.
I've made my. One day we're gonna need a warehouse just to store all your Ursula shit.
I'm not that bad. There's things I haven't bought just because it's not worth it, but
It's rare.
it is rare.
Because you bought some bootleg ass looking shit that's Ursula.
What did I buy that was bootleg?
I can't remember the last one, but we both looked at her. It was one of the Funko Pops. We're like, did they forget her mouth?
Oh yeah, it was the Pride Funko Pop. They forgot to do her mouth, so she kind of looks creepy.
Yeah.
But you had a good week too because we have 2 comedy shows this week in a row. He went to one last night. We have Elijah Schlesinger tonight. Cannot wait.
Last night, I went over to Polar Bear Comedy Show, and that was over. I think it's called the Lake in the Creek or the Creek in the Lake or something like that. It's at the old Barracuda over on East 7th. It used to be Red 7. It was an epic show. They were all hysterical, but I got to be in the front row, and I wore a lime green twisted jersey with the Demented Duo faces on it and a lime green hat. And so I'm matching, and to me, I was raised my whole life being told, don't do anything that draws attention to yourself. If you draw attention to yourself, that's how bullies find you. That's how you get bullies. If you just wear normal-looking clothes, you'll always be okay. And so for years and years, I've always dressed business casual. Like on our first date, he would have parties.
Anytime we'd come around the house, he was always...
Yeah, I was always dressed like I was just about to go to work. There was no such thing as casual for me. So wearing this out in public was kind of a huge step for me. And then the opening comic, who was the host, when he saw me, could not help but put the spotlight on me and start going on. He was joking about, he was talking about how he was like, homeboy can't have a wife at home because she wouldn't let him come out dressed like this. I was like, no, I have a husband. He was like, and he let you go out in lime green like you were about to be a contestant on. You can't do that on television. I was like, thank God this motherfucker didn't pour the slime on me. Like, I just laughed with it though, and I had a good time with it. The cool part was, afterwards, he saw me, he came up and hugged me, we took a picture together, and he was like, dude, I fucking love Twisted, I love the fact that you wore that jersey to this shit, but a bunch of different people around me loved it too, they were commenting on it, and it was a really cool, fun experience, reminding me again, we're all looking for happiness, we're looking for acceptance, we just take our own paths to get there, and that was a really, really fun experience for me. That was one of my adventures this week.
The other adventure is, since I have known this mofo, he has had the exact same haircut.
Which has been the same haircut since...
before I've known him. And I've been trying to tell him, change your hair. I want him to have that stereotypical Mexican guy hair to see if he had a face on the back of his head, like fucking Voldemort and Professor Quirrell. He doesn't, I can tell you that now. But it was so hard to get him to do it. And then the other day, we were out, needed to get haircuts.
And, next month will be 7 years since I met him. And every summer since I met him, I've said, I just want to shave my head in the summer. I just want to shave my head. But I would look like a freak. My head's gigantically big. I shouldn't do it. Even my mother used to tell me that my head was too big for it. But I was fucking tired of not doing it. And so I have a new do, y'all.
Y'all, he has no hair.
Never have I had my hair this short. And it's amazing. My head doesn't feel like my head is 105 degrees, y'all. Because this shit breathes fine again.
And so...
who the fuck knew?
Yeah, all of my side of the family
and my hats fit.
Go, bro!
And my hats fit finally.
His side of the family is like, what the fuck did you do, bro?
Yeah, because, y'all, for real, my hair... The last time my hair was this short, they shaved my head when I was like 4. That was the last time my hair has been this short. Otherwise, I've had the same haircut for basically 30 plus years. But I love it.
Well, we got a good show for you guys today, so stay tuned.
Yes, you're gorgeous. Hey, look, you're back on camera.
Okay, we're back after I had to reset a couple things.
Technical difficulties.
I think some technical difficulties.
Dog.
Dog's all up in your business. She's like, hey, bitch.
Like I said, she's trying to remind me who the star of the show really is. I need room.
Over here, Pops. Give him some room. She's like, I'm going to fit right here. Look, right here. Bam! So, welcome back to the show, y'all. We don't always see regularly when it comes to movies.
Eye to eye regularly?
Eye to eye regularly
yeah,
because...
you forgot eye to eye in there, yeah. Because I used my third eye.
We're not really arguing about... Well, this will be kind of a combination thing. Because I'm going to bring you a format of the show as we go along. Eye to eye is only going to go so far because that just comes up in regular conversations. But we did watch the Matrix 4 trailer, y'all. And the funniest thing Phil told me was, well, at least he used a good version of that song.
Yeah. I was so glad. Because, y'all, if there's one thing I'm sick of in trailers, it's them taking songs from the 60s and then having a girl sing alone quietly and softly with like a guitar or a piano in the background playing the melody. I was like, y'all, it doesn't work anymore. It was cool the first time. The 74th time, it's like the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh,
they
God,
find
don't
a
even
new thing
start on this shit
and
with
overdo
me.
it within the movie. But anyway, I'm so sick of that. So at least they used the right version of the song for the trailer. But otherwise, I felt like they tried to Men in Black like flash us and be like, all right, this is the Matrix Part 1. That's what it felt like. And I am sick of reboots and retcons and shit. Like, I'm so over that shit.
Yeah. They're being real careful with their wording because they don't know if this is an actual reboot or a retcon. I mean, 2 and 3 weren't the best, but 1 was fucking amazing. And the thing is he has a lot of emotional attachments to things in life with these movies, which is why I think he looks at it. I'm not bad about it, but you know, like we do have memories and stories from these movies.
Yeah, but y'all, okay, if they Force Awakens this shit, I'm gonna lose my mind and have a meltdown of epic proportions. Like when we first started dating, I went to a marathon with him where we watched all the Star Wars movies in a row.
So much fun.
Leading up to Force Awakens, which for me was like them taking a big nasty shit in the room and then leaving. Like, I thought it was awful. If they Force Awakens us with this, I'm done. And I'm going to have a meltdown in the theater. He's probably going to film it. They may ask me to leave impolitely and drag me out.
There will be cameras.
Because I'm so over that shit. And this trailer feels like y'all did not watch the first 3 Matrices. You did not see the original trilogy. That's how this feels.
I will agree with you a little bit with that one. But when it comes to the greater bit of reboots or remakes, there's no reason to keep doing this shit except the fact that they're out of ideas, which we understand. There's only so many stories you can tell, but they don't want to take chances on their creators.
Infinite stories you can tell.
There is, but in Hollywood, like, it's straight up. I was at South by watching the Marvel panel, and I was sitting next to a lady who produces animated features, and she can't sell anything she's bought the rights to because they're not IPs. The first play things the studio asks you when you bring them something is, what IP is this based on? They don't want any, like, they...
Which I'm also sick of.
Which I love Blumhouse, because, like, make a film. Like, Freaky was awesome. All these films that Blumhouse is doing, they're like, make your film. Independent films are doing that. We get that in the independent scene, but in the blockbuster scene, it's getting really, really, really hard to do those things. And I have plenty of memories watching these movies, usually inappropriately military joke movies, like when we watched Saving Private Ryan with all the vets laughing because Duke couldn't find his arm on the beach. Or we were watching...
Still too soon.
We were soldiers, and Mel Gibson's past his speech, he's like, we got whites, and we got blacks, and shop owners, and Asians, and right at the end, I blurred out in freakishly large dwarves, and the whole rest of the movie was ruined for our group, and it really pissed off people around us.
Maybe they're freakishly large dwarves, and you upset them.
Yeah, and like when Donnie Darko, just the weird quietness in the movie, and people trying to figure out what the fuck they just watched.
I watched that movie. So I rented that movie the night before I had to have a set of tubes put in my ears, and I knew I wasn't going to sleep because I was all stressed out. And I watched it 3 times, and it never made sense. That movie didn't make sense for me for like 10 years. It took forever for it to finally sink in.
But beyond that, I am okay with some reboots and remakes simply because there's a difference in the way they told stories today than back in the day. Because back in the day, people read books. People read magazines. You can see Starlog getting books that were adapted. People had already read the book, knew what to happen. They didn't need to waste screen time on that. But today, you really kind of got to hand walk people through things. And that's not necessarily a bad thing because it means you have to establish your story and your history and why things are happening. For instance, we're just going to talk about some reboots and remakes and our thoughts on them. Carrie. I love the Carrie reboot.
I mean, it was fine, but no, the original's a classic. Like the original, like
Why do you consider... See, the difference is in the reboot, they had to explain more of the family and what was going on, whereas in the original one, everyone had already read the book. So you didn't have to waste time. So people
I had
today...
read the book.
But between the book, the time it's been out, the lore, the interviews, you pieced it all together. Today...
Some things become classic, and they become part of, like, the you call it the lore, but it's not just lore like that. A few people, we all know everybody. They're all gonna laugh. Everybody knows the pig blood scene. Like we all know it. It's part of the greater consciousness.
But there's a backstory to history to it,
and sometimes that's cool, and sometimes these reboots take it too far with the backstory, and you know where I'm going. Like, I love me some Halloween, not the new reboot that they just did, because that, I don't even know what the hell
Here's our
that
problem
was.
with the one they released, 2 years ago? They retconned everything after 1. You should have kept Halloween 1 and 2 and continued from there.
It didn't make any fucking sense. But beyond that, my issue with the reboot retcon was the Rob Zombie ones. They went too deep into it.
I love the fact they went
way
too deep
too
into
extreme. It was like, y'all, some shit you can leave to people's imaginations, because there was a time when your imagination is what made the movie even better. But because of technological breakthrough, you don't have to do that anymore. You don't have to leave it like think of the original Last House on the Left. The shit they did scared the shit out of you, and it was old organ meat. It was a piece of a belt that when she bit his dick off in the movie, it was a piece of a belt she spit out of her mouth. Like that scared the shit out of you though. We have nothing left anymore. You don't have to use your imagination for shit. You can have.
But it's sometimes
CGI
fun to just watch that. See, that's my point of view. I'm
me, it's
okay
not.
with the implied horror. I really am. But if you can do the artistry of pulling off, especially practical effect gore, that's
practical.
amazing.
You'll get me. You can get me with practical effects. But I'm sick of the CG shit. I'm sick of it. I'm just.
So here's another one we're going to vastly disagree on. I loved the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot.
No.
I loved it because
No.
they turned Freddy into an actual monster. He wasn't a joke. And there was more of that didn't he aspect they played with for a while.
No.
He made an amazing looking Freddy Krueger.
No.
That whole movie was just that.
The Freddy series is classic. Freddy himself is classic. Freddy, no.
But see here,
no,
how
like,
much of
no.
this is based on your watching him as a kid with your friends?
Because I didn't watch those with my friends.
What was the one we talked about where you had to sleep in the room with? You guys had to pull the mattress out when you were
That
kids?
was The Ring.
The Ring.
But no, you're talking about Scream. Scream scared the shit out of me.
How did Scream scare the shit out of anybody?
Scream. Okay, first of all, none of us had seen a movie where it's like, oh, there's actually two killers, but you're missing practical effects. You'll get me with Freddy, the originals. That you needed that campiness he brought to it. He
I
brought
don't think he
funniness
did.
to it. But not every horror. You love to say some movies shouldn't take themselves so seriously. That movie, that version of Nightmare on Elm Street, took itself very seriously.
Because the other one didn't take itself serious enough. And I think the idea of a dream monster that can kill you in dreams is scary as shit without you making wisecrack, stupid, lame-ass, Laffy-Taffy level jokes.
But see, you can try to be true to the original and still fuck it up when you reboot it, like with Friday the 13th. Those ones I have an emotional attachment to. I love even Jason Goes to Hell, which is just a piece of shit. I love the first 10 of them were great, but I'm sorry when they rebooted it. As much as I wanted to be like, yeah, they brought it back, it lost all the magic. So much of it just lost that feel. It didn't need it. It didn't need them going, and they were trying, at least with this one, like the brother sisters duo trying to go like basically supernatural with with Jason, the brother sister going looking for the lost family member, but it just didn't do it for me. Like sometimes there are classics that need to be left alone. I know Rob Zombie and other directors say there is no such thing as a sacred. Everything is open to be redone. Everything's open for new touches. I like my
I don't
classics.
think everything needs to be open to be redone. I just think, like, I do have a major problem with the Disney live action remakes. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I like some of them. Like, I love Cinderella.
No.
I liked Beauty and the Beast for what it was. I enjoy Cruella. I enjoy Maleficent.
Yeah.
Because they were different enough.
Maleficent, y'all, I have this thing with Angelina Jolie. It was hard. It was hard for me to enjoy Maleficent because she was in it, but she was fine. But Sleeping Beauty is my thing. So I would. But Cruella, oh my God, Emma Stone was amazing.
You know when things go horribly awry when you do a practical shot-for-shot remake of Lion King, and just make it live action, and you strip everything away that made the animation work, like.
And you call it live action, but all the animals are computer generated.
I understand that aspect. I paid to see it because I wanted the glass from the Draft House, and I really wanted to just leave. But we were like, he didn't go with me. I went with
No.
I forget who I went with.
There are some things that are sacred, and I'm sorry, I was not going to tread on that unholy
So the
ground.
rule now is that movie is never allowed in this house. No. If you're going to put it on my TV, you're never allowed in my house again.
No, we can't do that.
We do not bring that up here.
It's not even like cute as a Rickroll type thing.
Nope.
Like if you tried to Rickroll us with it, that like we could question friendships about that.
You would be done.
That would be you telling us you hate us.
And then like another one that I like that you probably hate is I do enjoy the RoboCop reboot. I like the way that they approached it, and I'm not even looking at you. That's another one that I loved. I fucking loved RoboCop as a kid. So I was excited but tepid to see the remake, and it kept most of the spirit, but not in the snarkiness, anti-corporate agenda, which was kind of in there.
I know the perfect one for me to bring up to say.
Let's see.
That is going to be great. I just can't wait for your reaction. Dredd. I love the original Judge Dredd. Sylvester Stallone, like Rob Schneider, like great, epic. Loved it. I hated the new one. I didn't get what they were going for.
Because the new one's more dread than the original one?
I'm sorry. The original one didn't take itself seriously. It was a fun movie. I had a blast.
Demolition Man is a fun movie.
Demolition Man
Judge
is a fun
Dredd
ass
is
movie.
a travesty on the face of the planet.
No.
When you get Dredd with Carl Urban, that movie was badass.
And then you brought
Just like the reboot of Star Trek movies are pretty badass.
The first one was great. The second one was
then they started going kind of weird.
I don't think I fell asleep in the third one. I don't think I remember much about it. Probably 20 minutes into it, I was out. I don't remember the third one at all. Isn't that with the motorcycles and shit?
There were motorcycles in it, yes. That's all he remembers. Motorcycles! There was them in there.
That tells you how into that movie I was.
So it's fun when we get these opportunities because he constantly finds these movies he loved as a kid. Like Overboard, which I 100% agree. The original one is great. Did not need to remake it. I watched the remake. It was awful.
I did not. I will not.
They're remaking Splash. Don't know why.
Not
and they're gender swapping it.
Don't do this to me.
The last they said was Channing Tatum was the merman.
Which I'm going to say it because I'm the hater. Like I said, I'm a hater. I don't understand the draw to Channing Tatum. He is funny as hell, and I hope he never meets me and beats my ass for saying it. I just don't think he's I'm not gonna call him ugly, but I don't see why girls think he's the hottest thing walking. He just looks like a normal guy with a great body. But okay. Anyway, back to your story.
Best Channing Tatum role was in This Is the End.
Yeah, God.
That was the best.
When I saw that, I was like, y'all, there is a fucked up sex tape of him somewhere where somebody was like, look, this can go public or you can appear at This Is the End. And he was like, yes, I will be the bottom bitch and This Is the End.
I love that movie.
Yes, that was
I think I showed you that movie.
Yes. It was a great movie.
So, yeah, it seems when we want to go watch a bunch of these movies, like, he keeps pulling out these old movies that I've watched with him. And
Fright Night. Original is a classic.
Remake is good. You liked the remake.
No, I will accept
I finally got you to watch the remake.
And I will accept it and not consider it garbage, but it's nothing compared to the original. The original is a classic.
No, the remake was so much better. Just film-wise, actor-wise. Like, I go back and watch some of these movies. I haven't watched it forever since kind of like Lost Boys.
Oh,
What
I
the
love
fuck was
Lost
up with
Boys.
that greased up sax on the beach scene? Like, I don't understand. Like, who thought this would be good? And that whole movie was made just for that one song.
Yeah,
Because they
dude.
played the fuck out of it.
But Gerard McMahon, dude, you make your nut off that song, and he
Yes.
did. I bet you he hasn't had to write another song the rest of his career. He probably had written a whole bunch, but that one song set him up for life.
He was set up for life.
And then, y'all, if you haven't heard the Marilyn Manson version he did for New Mutants, to me, that song by Gerard McMahon is one of the untouchables where like nobody should ever cover it, and Manson actually got it right and covered it and did it well. Just saying.
And this also goes into music as well when they want to keep covering songs. Like, I downloaded the Chromatica remix album. Y'all,
No, it was painful.
that is the worst. Like, I love remix albums. I love dance mixes.
And she has a history of Gaga has a history of some good remix albums, picking really good alternate mixes of shit she does. Stuart Price always does her justice when he remixes her shit. I don't know what this was supposed to be.
There's one of them where it like bleeps out words and there's dead air in it, and I'm like, the fuck is this? Like,
Yeah.
I tried listening to it twice. I couldn't finish the second time. I was like, I gotta be done, y'all. This is bad. This is a whole level of bad.
And didn't she call it Origins or something, like Origins of Chromatica?
Because I think Chromatica is an amazing album on its own.
I thought that was a bad title because like these can't be the origins, like because if this is what you build Chromatica on, like that they can't be true. That if so, like the castle is going to crumble because this is bullshit that you gave us.
And then he found a remix from some song his brother was like, no, what was it?
Twisted did Hungry Like the Wolf, and my brother, woo. He'd say to my brother, anything by Duran Duran is classic. So when he heard Twisted doing Hungry Like the Wolf, like I'm lucky he brought me home. He didn't kick me out of his car that night. He was not having it. That was garbage in his eyes.
Yeah, but that's also because he has that emotional attachment to it.
Yeah, we do.
I think the emotional attachment stops people from really enjoying some of these remixes and reboots.
And sometimes they're just garbage, like the new Star Wars movies.
We're gonna get into that.
Someday, and I could go all day, y'all.
We're gonna get into Star Wars.
There was a point in our relationship where I wasn't allowed to, he had a zero tolerance policy for me mentioning
Here's
these
why.
movies.
Because
they were
every
garbage.
15 fucking minutes when we were together, Star Wars is trash.
It was trash. It's trash. It's still trash. You know what the truth is, though? Or you know what? He finally woke up and recognized the trash.
We got what we got as fans. I wish
We got what we
gotten
got
better.
when they gave us the Super Mario Brothers movie, too.
Oh, God.
With that, we got what we got with that. We accepted that.
Which I thought you liked that movie.
No, I told you as a child I did, and as an adult it didn't translate to me.
Have you watched it as an adult?
Yes, I have seen it as an adult.
I haven't. That's another one that I just can't bring myself to watch.
And the more we accept, sometimes you cannot just say we got what we got, we have to accept it, or they'll continue to give you garbage and you'll keep accepting it. And I tell you that all the time. I tell you that all the time with y'all, these franchises you're like, oh my god, this one was awful. Why are they doing this? Because y'all keep listening and buying.
Yeah. What's up, Puppets? She's all, you back?
She's like, are we live? Nobody gave me a count.
From outer space.
I didn't hear
You
anything.
just walked in to find me here without that look upon my face.
She would do that shit too.
She would totally sing to you like that.
No, and she would totally change the lock and be like, "You're not."
She'd
coming
change
in."
that lock.
She'd be like, "You're not coming in, motherfucker. It's just him and me now."
She'd be like hossing on the door going, is that you? I'd be like, yeah, you come in.
Yeah, she wouldn't let me in.
He'd be outside. Okay, so before we get into this next segment, I've learned the dog has a very panic bark now because one time Phil left her outside overnight. And she was running from window to window, and I don't even think I was home. I don't remember where I was, or I came home really late. I guess she had to start barking because she'll go to every window to bark to let us know, I want the fuck inside, bitches.
We have learned it, and it is very different from she definitely has a voice, and she knows how to use it, and she's figured out the modulations to let us know what she wants.
Yeah, and she also learns to talk with her eyes. So she'll look at you and then look at what she wants and look at you and look at what she wants until you get the fuck, I want under the blanket. Like,
Or I want that sandwich you're eating. Or
Yeah.
I want to taste that. Or her eyes tell you everything she wants.
So, we're starting something new with Phil because between the two of us, he is the one that lives and breathes music.
I listen to lots of music, I do.
Lots. Like, he was in the top 13% of Twisted listeners last year.
No, don't you dare leave me that. Top 2% of Twisted listeners last year on Spotify. Which shocked me. I had no idea, because as much as I listened to WAP, I was sure that was going to be that would be where I was. Top 2% listeners for Twisted.
See, my music goes from everything from like Madonna and Eminem to Disney stuff to everything
to 95% Disney stuff.
Boy band stuff. Like, if I love Spice
95%
Girls.
Disney stuff.
Well, I do have a lot of Disney stuff, and
I've never heard a grown man wake up in the morning singing something from Frozen in the shower, but God love you, and I do too.
And my favorite disco song, I've discovered there's like a 15-minute remix on YouTube. So that
God.
shit was played. I would not leave the shower until I got done singing. I have a lot of Survive. My music tastes all over the place, and they're. I don't have a lot of music. This mofo right here has got like 20 playlists, all of them themed. He has playlists based on dates from history that meant things to him. Like, when we first met, there's like a We First Met playlist.
Y'all, like, people who know me, especially my oldest friends and my closest friends, know you can tell how I'm feeling by what's on my playlist in my car. And he's not kidding when I tell you I've got a playlist for every mood, every day of the week.
His emo playlist.
I've got them for decades. I've got my 50s playlist, 60s playlist, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. I've got collections that are like my Groovy collection, which is some of my 60s and 70s stuff together. I've got some of my goldies, which will have some of my 50s and 60s stuff together. Like, I've got everything. I even have some country in there. I've got lots of hip-hop playlists. Got a playlist for everything.
So this year, I'm going to be surprised if he's not in the top 1% of Twisted listeners, because that's all we listen to every day.
No, I have an entire playlist of stuff that is from Magic Ninja and some of the other labels that make underground hip-hop, like Mob Style is in there.
We're playing the Magic Ninja playlist every day, which isn't bad, but one day I was like, can we please, for the love of God, this is something else. It was 8 days in a row.
And I was quite unhappy that you changed my... He threw off the Emperor's Groove. He did. He threw off my groove. He's lucky I didn't throw him out the window.
I think I stopped it to play a Big Frida song. I thought about it.
And y'all, and you don't understand. It's funny. I just told my best friend this story yesterday. I was like, look, we were driving. I was in a mood. I was not happy. And he took my phone and changed my playlist. And he was like, he did what? I was like, took my phone and changed my playlist. And he was like, no, what did he put on? He's like, he put on the disco playlist. And he was like, all right, so tell me some Bee Gees came. I was like, that's the reason he's alive. Because it was disco, and so he had his song, and some Bee Gees came on. Because you do not touch my playlist in the car. They are there for a reason. They are there to control my mood and set how I feel. And yes,
you don't need to set a mood to check the mailbox, which is
you
50
do.
feet away.
Yes, you do.
You don't need to set a mood to go to the gas station, which is 2 blocks away.
I do. And Magic Ninja quite often sets my mood. That playlist has a lot of really great artists on it. And I wanted to take just a little time this week on this part of the show to say one of my favorite new artists that I have just gone crazy for his name is Gibby Stites. He's dropping an album today called Welcome to Illville. It has so many amazing tracks on it. I hope people go out and listen to it. He's making what he's calling mental health music, and I fucking love that, because as someone out there who has mental health issues, you get tired of hearing people tell you shit is just in your head. It's all in your head. If you would just get out of your head. Oh, it's all... No. Sometimes you don't feel right, and shit doesn't feel right, and it's not just because it's in your head. And he talks a lot about that. He has songs that I relate to in ways I haven't related to songs in a long time. So I hope y'all go out there, listen to a bunch of his shit. It's on everything. It streams Apple. It streams Spotify. It streams everywhere. It's on YouTube. He has a weekly show on YouTube he has as well. But y'all check out Welcome to Illville. Listen to Pressure. Listen to the whole thing, y'all. It's great. It's fan-fucking-tastic. This is a jersey for his last album called 13th Wonder. Soon as I saw it and discovered him, I had to get his jersey and his merch. Love Gibby. Check out Gibby Stites.
What's your favorite song on the album?
Pressure. I relate to Pressure so much. It is so hard sometimes to not be your hardest critic, to be your own harshest critic, and put all the pressure on yourself to think, I have to fix everything myself. I'm in charge of everything. I take care of everything. Sometimes you have a team, and I'm lucky I do have a team. But sometimes it feels like the weight of the world is only on your shoulders and you carry it alone. I feel you. I feel that song. Check out Pressure, y'all. But Gone with the Wind is fire as soon. That's a fire-ass song.
He likes the entire album.
Everything.
See, I always thought the best way to do it as a musician, just release songs as you go, especially in today's age. I think COVID really just did, like Big Freedia kind of does. Just release songs as you go and just keep them going, and just so you always have something new for someone to listen to.
See, I'm old school. I like collections of songs. I'm a musician myself. I like to write music. I write lyrics. I write songs. I've written the theme songs for his shows. I like the idea of your songs being a collection and coming together. And if you have, even if it's just an EP of 4 or 5, if they come together and tell a bigger story, that's magic. And to me, it's greater magic than just here's a single, here's a single, here's a single, here's a single, here's a single. But that's just me.
But you do the same thing. Like, they could all be together as part of a major EGP, but it's just like people who release daily YouTube shows, like we kind of do. You get stuff every day that keeps you engaged in content because, like, some of our artists don't release albums for years.
It takes a long time to write music. I have a song that I've been editing for 4 years. I'm sure at some point it's going to come out. Gavin, 3 years ago, thought it was ready. But sometimes it's easy to get lost in a song and to just keep writing and rewriting and working.
But there's a point where you have to understand you got to stop George Lucasing it. It's done.
Oh, you had to say that because, man, I just saw that South Park with Indiana Jones. Man. If they do that with The Matrix, I'm going to be so upset. I'm going to be running out and screaming just like they did.
Yeah, so this is going to be our section of the show where it's just Phil's topic, whatever he feels like talking about. It's more than likely to be music most of the time.
Probably. I do listen to a lot of music.
He listens to a lot of music. And he got... We had an argument this week because he was mad. He watches those Ratchet Bitch shows like Love and Hip Hop. And I'm trying to get him to understand, the reason those people are most of the time are popular is because they're on that show. Or they're following people on that show to run across them because most of those people aren't very talented.
He did notice
that.
And
the thing is hip hop, it's going to sound horrible coming from me, it's like a dime a dozen in the South. Everybody is. So everyone's making their music. How do you get seen? You throw yourself on camera with a national TV show, find a way to get involved there or be on the show. And that's just an instant thing because people will watch the show and just go flock to the music like he has done. It's different when you're trying to do it on your own. You just got to get the stuff out there.
I have been afraid to. It's been a voyage of self-discovery, and I am using music as a way to express myself more than I ever have, and to tell stories in a way that I never did. And I'm working with new musicians and sharing it with them. I had a friend the other day who was like, if you're not careful, you're going to be one of those people that, one day just tragically dies, and then they listen to your collection like, where has he been? How has he kept this? He wrote the great American novel and none of us knew. I've been writing music since I was 12 years old, but for so long I let haters tell me I wasn't good, so I kept it to myself. I had close friends who I thought were my friends, who behind my back were telling each other it was a joke that I was writing music. And so for so long I've kept it to myself, and I've been afraid to share the music that I've been working on. But hopefully that's going to change soon, and hopefully there's going to be some fun shit coming.
Yeah,
writing songs with him has been my first step.
When he's going to be working on it, you're going to watch him do it. I'm going to set up a camera and it's going to be streaming. That's going to be hard.
That's going to be.
And you guys can watch how the process unfolds because it's fascinating, especially when we do Music Saturdays. I fucking love Music Saturdays when you guys are all just getting together and getting the groove going and y'all are having fun and just getting into it. That is the best feeling over here. I love the creative spirit that pops up. And no, you're not alone. And no, someone may hate what you do. Someone may love what you do.
I'm learning to just not give a fuck. Maybe they will like it, maybe they won't. But what I really hope is that someone likes it and that they feel it. And that maybe they hear a story that I tell that they can relate to and it helps them feel better. Because it helps me feel better to write it out and get it out. That's the hope.
That is the hope. So it'll be exciting. I gotta get your holophoner hooked up.
It is not a holophoner.
Bitch, it looks like a holophoner.
It's not a holophoner. Y'all, I don't have a holophoner, I promise.
It's a digital saxophone.
It's not a digital saxophone. I can't afford a shit. I can't.
What is this thing then?
It's a digital wind instrument controller. It's like a MIDI controller for wind instruments that lets you make more expressive sounds than you can with a typical
Expressionful?
Would
Would you say expressionful sounds?
No, make more expressive sounds than you could with normal synths.
I can't with you.
I will not say expressionful. It's not a real word.
You don't look at my ass?
Well, when your shirt was rolling up, I was just trying to pull your shirt back down.
It was a good view for you.
Hey, ain't nobody on this show paid to see. So no.
I charge for that view, bitch. You get it for free.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. And none of these motherfuckers paid for it, so keep your shirt down. I can put you on the corner and make some money. Don't be giving it away for free.
Today's my random thought for this show, and this is an old thought because I want to see him debate on camera and see what you guys think.
Oh God.
I have this long-running theory, and there's been times when you've agreed with it, and there's been people who've written papers and stuff about it, about the way people think. And I firmly believe that you are born mean, rotten, and selfish because you're taught to be nice. He knows where we're going. Tell me, are you born nice or are you born mean? Because I think the basic human instinct is selfishness and meanness. Look at any baby. A baby does not care about your well-being. Baby does not care about your work schedule. Baby wants what it wants, when it wants it, or it's going to make your life a living hell.
Because when we're born, that's all we know is we're barely learning ourselves.
Then what we know when we're born is our base instinct. Just like when a giraffe gets born, they know how to walk. And you've said it before. It's weird
that we take so long to gestate.
And it
takes so long for us to develop. But that doesn't make us evil or like selfish by nature. Like, we're helpless.
You're taught born to be helpless. Nice, though. You're born helpless, but animals are born helpless, but they're basic.
No, they're not born helpless. A baby whale can swim the instant it's born.
Instinct. Baby giraffe can walk. Instinct. Baby horse can run. Instinct.
They're not helpless. We are helpless when we're born.
We're still babies, whether we're helpless or not. There's an instinct that is naturally set within you
to survive. So we cry to get others to help us because we're helpless.
Our survival instinct is mean.
It's not mean. We cry
also
for survival.
Let's go past babies. Let's look at kids in school.
Oh shit, now.
Yes. Kids are fucking mean, especially in middle school and high school. High school can be the worst, but middle school is where it starts. There's a whole reason why Mean Girls is a movie, which I fucking love Mean Girls, by the way.
I love Mean Girls, too. Yeah.
That instinct translates over. If it was just about survival, we would be there to help each other. But as we grow, we become more selfish and more self-centered.
No.
Human instinct is shallow.
I'm going to disagree with you on this one. And I'm going to tell... So, for those of you who don't know, and I'm not going to go into specifics, I've had several jobs in my life. And some of my jobs have been working with children and working in child protection. And I have seen some shit over the years. But one of the things I've noticed that I've seen that I find really, really sad, like, you can go on Netflix and you can watch a bunch of shows about serial killers, murderers, yada, yada, yada. There's a show they have on there called I Am a Killer, and they follow a bunch of people on death row. And if you listen to these people, every single one of them has one thing in common. Every single one of them is that something horrible happened to them in their childhood. At least once, if not daily or multiple times. It isn't that we're born evil and we continue to become more evil. Because you have kids who grow up to be sweethearts. They grow up to be sweet teenagers.
Guidance.
But if you have something terrible happen, if you have a bad childhood, then you might end up being one of these people who's mean and selfish.
No guidance.
But that doesn't make that kid evil. It means that kid...
That means your natural instincts are just kind of left unchecked because they're not being molded or shaped or guided. Think of that little brat.
Neglect has a negative effect on the human brain.
Think of that little brat in the hair place when you got your haircut.
That's stupid mean kid shit. It's not the same. That's not
stupid
evil.
Mean kid shit. But his mom did not stop him. So we were getting the haircut. There was a mom and her kids in there, and
they didn't know I could speak Spanish, and they were
trashing his haircut. And this kid didn't have any room to talk with his crooked ass eyebrows and his ugly haircut that he's not allowed to make choices on. But His mom was sitting right there, did not stop it. That is not good guidance, which is letting this kid's natural instincts, which is to be a jackass.
I don't think that it's his natural instinct. You learn to protect yourself. And if you're being neglected, if you're being mistreated, but you see that being mean and nasty keeps people away from you, then you develop that as a way to protect yourself. I don't think you're born that way. I don't think we're born evil. We're not born selfish. We're born helpless. Kids whose parents do take care of them end up not being what you're describing. But kids whose parents don't take care of them, who don't give a shit about them, and those kids who know that their parents don't give a shit about them, end up being the types of kids you're talking about. And that's really unfair to do to people.
Guidance. They don't have it, so their instincts are running wild.
Their instinct is not to be evil, it's to protect themselves and survive. That's like saying that caged animals that swipe at people are evil by nature. That it's afraid, it's protecting itself. That bobcat isn't evil, and that's why it's swinging at you. It's scared of you, and you're inside its natural, and you're in its habitat. It's not evil. It's trying to survive. That's not evil.
Instincts. Animal instincts. I think at the base level, something very different. Which we do need to talk about his theory from watching Ancient Aliens at some point in time.
Oh God, y'all! I got a whole bunch of those.
Because let me tell you, he loves him some Ancient Aliens.
Oh, I love me some mindless TV, and I love it for my Futurama fans out there. I love it when it's like within a tenth of a plausibility unit. Yeah, you get me that close. Yeah, tenth of a plausibility unit. Now I'll watch. I'll listen. I'll give you a chance.
We're gonna do in the future.
That's why I can't get on that QAnon shit though, y'all. It's not even within a tenth of a plausibility unit, y'all. It's not even close.
Okay, it's time to wrap our show. We hope you guys have enjoyed talking with us. Next episode, I want to talk about why I like being in this relationship and the racial differences we have with our backgrounds and upbringing and how they kind of meld together and the fun jokes they get to make because of it. And the fun jokes he gets to make because of it.
I thought you had someone from Motley Crue coming on the show.
I don't need from Motley Crue coming on the show.
Then why the fuck am I going to be on this episode? Shit.
So we're going to have some fun, but we do like to wrap up with a question. Now, I've gathered a bunch of questions people have asked me over the years, and we want your questions, so make sure you send them to us. Phil has to pull it out, and we have to answer it, whether it be about us or about each other. Each one of us has to give an answer.
Oh, it's like last week. Yeah, that's what it was like being married to you. It's like being married. It's like diffusing a bomb.
A time bomb, yeah.
Now I'm like, what? God help us. What is this question going to be?
What's our question this week?
What is a weird habit the other has? Oh, God.
I got a couple. Do you need time to think?
I need time to think.
So, Phil, when he gets stressed, likes to curl his hair. But now he doesn't have any hair to do that. And I always ask,
You took away one of my ways I deal with stress.
what's bothering you? What's bothering you? What's bothering you? Nothing. But I always know it's something. This part of the communication process we've had for a few years that we realized we weren't talking to each other the right way. Because we do have very different languages when we talk to each other. And he would curl his hair. But this has been resolved recently. The weirdest habit he has, and y'all, the dog can attest to this, we will be dead asleep at night. Dead asleep. And this motherfucker's got to be on like 3 blankets, 5 pillows, and 3 fans on. And then he gets hot and has to take them all off in the middle of the night. And you think that's all fine and good. But he's pretty gassy at night. And that shit, the fan blows it right into me and the dog's face. And the dog has literally gotten up and left like multiple times. Multiple fucking times. Like she's back there going, I don't want to be into this conversation.
I mean, shit happens sometimes.
Shit happens sometimes. And also, when he sleeps, he has nightmares about work, and he talks in his sleep like he is at work. No, this presentation's not ready yet. I'm like, this is what you dream about, work?
It's funny because your weird habit is talking in your sleep, but y'all, he talks shit to himself in his sleep, and he talks he says weird shit in his sleep, and like the scariest thing he's ever done, y'all. So I'm not going to use his real name because he doesn't like that. But so basically, in his sleep, he was dead asleep. He was like, Gavin, Gavin, Gavin. So I got up. I was like, you know what, motherfucker, I'm gonna sleep on the couch because I'm not gonna sleep next to this possessed ass motherfucker. And the other weird thing he does while he's sleeping, that's a strange habit, is sometimes he'll grab my hand, but it's like vice-like grip. And then he'll roll over and pull me with him. Scares the shit out of me because he won't let go. I've learned as he's falling asleep not to touch his hand because I'm afraid he's gonna like iron grip me and then break my hand in his sleep.
Yeah, because my weird habit is I have to have my own blanket, and it can't be very thick because I get really hot because I radiate so much heat. So we have two different blankets. He's got this cooling blanket which freezes him now.
Oh, it's epic! Oh my god,
Dog can't fucking stand it, so she's got to be all up, super glued to my body overnight, and I can't move. Yes, I'm talking about you, bitch. She's all what?
Yes.
But no, yeah, our weird habits are mostly in our sleep. Like,
yeah,
during the day, like we don't really have anything really weird.
No.
I do forget where I park and things, so I have to like try to like when we drive home from the Walmart, I have to know my turn's coming up, so I made it a point to point at the church. That's by the where we turn.
It is weird that you break out into Disney song every now and then. Like I shouldn't say every now and then, like on a regular basis.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna lie. I break out in song and dance on a regular basis.
Like we're in a Bollywood movie, except it's Disney songs, just randomly.
Yeah, I will not argue that point because it's very valid. I do sing a lot of Disney songs, especially Little Mermaid, because that is my shit.
Oh God, when you hear this motherfucker sing it, you think he wrote it.
Yeah, that is my shit of Little Mermaid. But you should sing more.
No, I should not.
Yes, you should.
Not without a bunch of processors.
There ain't nobody here but me listening, and maybe the camera if I decide to turn it on.
That's why I don't sing, right? Because I don't trust your ass.
Yeah, no, that's weird habits are pretty much when we sleep. It's next episode I'm gonna talk about the fun of being in a gay relationship and stuff like that I've learned over the years. Hilarious stories are gonna be coming in the next episode. You don't want to miss that one, that's for sure. No, outside of the trolling his hair during the day and the weird shit he does at night. That's it.
That's it.
Oh, how about the dogs? She's technically part of the show. We've talked about some of her weird, quirky habits.
So she's a hoarder, and if we go in her cage to try to clean it out, she freaks the hell out and refuses to leave her cage for like
3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks. And the whole time she stares at us like, I trusted y'all. I thought I could trust y'all.
She has a chewed up ravioli can. She's got some bowls, some wrappers.
We were wondering where all our little plastic like Walmart bowls we get are. We were like, where the fuck did they all go? She had them.
They're under her blanket.
And she will not let us get them. If you get near her cage, like you would think like it was a prison cell, she gets ready to shiv you.
Oh, yeah, that's her weird habit. Is she is a hoarder. I don't know where she got some box of something that we've never had in this house. I don't know where it came from. Probably because we live on we're on the corner, so someone threw it over the fence. Box of something. I don't know where she got it from, but it's in her cage, and
it's her little mermaid treasure trove.
And that's her weirdest thing is she fucking is obsessed with that stuff.
And she watches TV.
She watches a lot of TV.
She loves loving hip hop, y'all, just like I do. She gets into it. When they start fighting, she starts barking and yelling and like dancing and running in circles on like she can't handle it.
Yeah, it's she gets all up in it. That's I think her weird traits for the dog. Outside the fact she has to lick my ear constantly.
Yeah, she does that.
It's so gross. Especially when she has that hot butt breath from being outside. She does not like the robot lawnmower, vacuum, or mop.
Oh, they all freak her out.
But she should be used to it by now. I think the mop freaks her out the most because it speeds and then goes real slow. She doesn't know what the fuck to do.
That poor mop. It just runs into shit. Just bam, oops, my...
And there you have it, y'all. He forgot he has a busted finger. And that's where we're going to close this episode.
Alright, don't forget, y'all, give me Stice John's new album. He's the shit. Check him out.
And we'll see you guys